And hello. You might ask yourself, do I really need an amp? I have a pedal board. I just need a kind of a platform to put the pedals in and then go DI. Well, since the dawn of the Iridium, and possibly before that, there are modelers in pedal shape. They're still digital modelers. But someone said, we don't need the big helix. We don't need the pods, the head rushs, and quad cortexes. Let's go and have something of this size as a pedal platform on a pedal board with DI out, already loaded with a good cap simulation. And that sparked a whole new product category. I mean, maybe there was some before that, please comment. But the Strymon Iridium definitely hit the market, and everyone was like, whoa, let's build these things. Iridium has 3 sounds. There's the Deluxe Reverb, the AC30, and the JCM. I like that they went with round chime and punch, not to tread on anyone's copyright. I love that. Each of them has 3 different caps preloaded, which match what you want to do. Typical 3-band EQ. I think on the chime, one of them is doing cut. And then this is the magical button because that actually puts it in a realistically sounding room. You can have one favorite, so technically this is a 2 preset pedal. It's also fully stereo. If you wanted that, you switch it in the back, which makes this TRS insert type stereo input. So fully stereo. This is good. Now let's see what it clocks in at nowadays. 419 euro. It delivers the goods. Is it the best one of them? Well, it has a wide range of gain, which I like. I think the round or the deluxe is a little bit too mid-staffed. It's like, give me some of those mids. But the chime AC will give you quite a bit of gain, which is nice. You can have those sparkly cleans to kind of, the pushed AC, and then the punch will deliver the JCME sounds with the drive, but also a nice rounded clean pedal platform. And all of it without going into sounding like the actual vintage amps, meaning blown up and fuzzy and saggy and sometimes unplayable and unusable. Because sometimes the vintage stuff just sounded like shit. If you're going super honest, you're adding all that shit to your model. Strymon didn't do that. They made this usable. 419 bucks. That's how it started. I think the next one on the market was the ACS one from Walrus Audio. Kind of the same idea, but a different idea. Also, which I like, stereo input, but fully stereo input, stereo output, and fully stereo setupable. So if we look at it, there's a left-right switch. So when it's in the middle, you're setting it up for both sides, the cab as well as the amp. But you could set up a different cab and amp on the left side and different cab and amp on the right side, meaning this is absolutely 2 fully independent signal path. That's nice. Also has presets, which you can switch like this, and a boost. Here you got the deluxe. There you got, I think the Dartford, no. I think that's the AC, and there you've got the JC, I think. Well, actually, this is more of a blues breaker thing. The whole idea here is not gain. So even at full gain, it's not really giving you a cranked amp. So this is clearly a pedal platform. The most you will get out of this is edge of breakup, which is a good idea because you're supposed to plug pedals into it. The room does what it's supposed to do, putting the amp in a room, but it's okay. It's not, wow, that room sounds great. This pedal has micro USB, headphone out. Let's compare the Strymon. Headphone out, mini USB. It's older, will allow it. And I think on the Strymon, I'm not sure if you can load your own IRs. Not sure. I think you can. On this, you most certainly can with a very nice web app. Just load it up and then it takes you to an HTML page where you can do your things with it. This is clearly really not necessarily standalone great. You put a pedal into it, it starts to bloom. This can be used standalone if you really want to. It's not necessarily the main idea. ACS1 is more expensive than the Iridium. $439, $419. Now, both of these are meant as 3 amps in one. This has presets. This has one favorite switch. This has MIDI, so you could do magic with MIDI. This has MIDI in and out, so you could do magic with MIDI as things like changing parameters, recalling presets, probably more on this, probably more presets than just the one. So clearly more fully featured, 3 amps per pedal, MIDI, fully stereo, but also over $400. More drive, edge breakup-y pedal platform. You get it? Okay. Then what else hit the market? Well, UA said we can do this better. Let's reduce it, let's go super vintage, and let's throw out pedals that do 1 amp, but that amp to perfection. Sadly, I gotta say, they nailed it. Let me put everything back on the table here so it looks nice. I have a little display happening here. There you go. Hey. So UA came up with a dream. That's their Deluxe. Now they did a lot of things right. Fully stereo, USB-C. You can't do much with it. Once you register, you get 3 more IRs. Hey, nice. Can you load your own IRs? No, they're not even using IRs. They're using cap modeling. But fully stereo, that's killer. We got 9-volt in the middle. Bluetooth to pair it with the Bluetooth app for, I don't know, firmware updates and things you can do, Bluetooth, certain setup things. Is it super useful? No, because they haven't really added the usefulness of the Bluetooth, but it's possible. Bluetooth audio? No. Headphone out? No. MIDI? Oh, no. I think you can switch presets with Bluetooth, but I mean, why? Would you be on stage doing this? So, one preset, no MIDI, no headphone out. $400, if I'm correct. Let's see. Oh, they went down in price. Ooh, they were $399. Now this is $318. So we're over $100. Yep. Compared to the 2 others. But this is 1 amp Deluxe reverb. Again, no MIDI and all that stuff. It has, once you register, 6 different cabs. They sound great. The reverb on this it's UA. I'm sorry, none of the others nails that kind of spring reverb. There are different variations of the amp. Look at here. Look at it. Look at here. Look at it here. With this knob, there's a stock, a lead, and a D-Tex. The lead and the D-Tex has the ability to add boost. There's an alt for the speed and the intensity of the trem, or the vibrato. No, it's actually a tremolo. So this is a full recreation of a Deluxe, of a Deluxe reverb. And honestly, immediately once you play this, you're like, yeah. Now, once you crank up the gain on it, and it wants low output pickups to really stay clean, it turns into what a Deluxe reverb back in the day would have turned into. A fuzzy noise machine that's very... But that's what the amp back then did. So if you're into modern controllable sounds when it's driving, this isn't your baby. If you're into sounding like your favorite guitar players sounded in the 60s and 70s, this is the shit. Now, of course, they came up with a couple more pedals. The Ruby is their AC30. Similar ideas. It's got volume. It doesn't have the normal and the bright. It just has volume. It has the typical cut. But there's also a brilliant channel and a vibro channel. And then you've got speed and intensity right here. Bass and treble. Boost on the brilliant channel, I think, works. 6 different cabs. Again, once you register, you can get the beautiful, sparkly, bright sounds on the Brilliant channel as you're used to from that type of amp. The vibrato is brilliant. The thing that really makes it stand out is this room. So you go to Alt and you dial in the room, and it really takes it apart, takes it away from the other pedals, because this room is where UA shines. It's not a reverb. It literally sounds all of a sudden like your amp is sitting in a room with a mic in front of it. And the realism of that is unrivaled by the others. So let me see if I type in Ruby, what happens here. Not Ryuxby. Also 318. So at $399, these were recommendable, but in the higher price, ooh, 318. Ooh. Okay, moving on. Oh, there's the Woodrow as well. I don't have this on the table. It's actually my favorite of them because it's the rounder tweed style pedal. I use this for pedal demos if I do stereo stuff. Of course, again, also stereo and everything. But I don't have it on the table because the others don't have a tweed channel. So there is one more, which I'm not showing you in this video. Now, what prompted this video is, of course, the Ampworks pedals from TC. Similar concept as UA in terms of 1 amp per pedal, but $159. So on the back, in, no IR, definitely not stereo. Each pedal has a special function knob in the back and pre-post or whatever. You can switch things. Micro USB or mini USB, which is dumb. But you don't really use it for anything other than firmware updates. Hey, UA, look, they can do phones output. They can do it. They can do it. Why don't you do it, you people? I love that they have a nod to the original with the knobs, and that's really all that it is. Here you can turn the reverb on and off independently. You have 2 different channels. Which are really just 2 setups. I mean, they're voiced slightly differently, but close to each other. 6 beautiful knobs, no real secondary functions, straightforward. I have a little bit of a problem with the Deluxe 65 right here because getting it to stay very clean while having a thick enough sound for me is a little bit more difficult. So it goes into the edge of breakup / drive relatively fast, and then it gets into a vintage sound. So it follows what UA did with those, you know, blown up type of fuzzy, being true to the original. Okay, moving on to the next one. That is the DC30. You know what that is? Blue Bulldog, all that. It's not the AC, it's the DC30, and they stayed again true to the original by having normal and Brilliant channels. That's how they're doing it. The good old cut knob. There's no reverb. There's no room. Again, input, output without IR. A single IR. You can't change them. You can't switch to another cab like on the others. It's got 1, but you know what? If it's picked right, that's all you need. We've got a pre-post here for the boost, and there's a gain for the boost, so you can actually kick in your own boost. Okay, and what am I doing? And then we got the Jim's 45. That's of course a 45M style amp. The knobs tell you everything. Same layout. We have a presence on the back with that knob and a pre-post. Again, the mini USB, which is so outdated, it's not even funny. Channel and boost. And that gives you 1, 2 sounds, and then technically 4, because that stays programmed pretty much once you change the channels. Here we have the same thing, a normal and a bright input. See it as a jumper amp, and then you can really mix the 2 flavors. Bass, middle, treble. I'm gonna put this down. Bass, middle, treble, and a level. So, that being said, which one of those do I recommend? Ooh, that's a tough one. Price-wise, what TC delivers is great. Absolutely. $159. No question about it. Do you need variation for that recording thing? You don't want to use software, put it on the table in the studio and get a sound really quick with possibly pedal in front of it. Well, if you need variation, then it's the ACS1 or the Iridium, because they have 3 different amps, but also clock in over 400. If you're a fan of 1 amp, a Deluxe, an AC30, or something Marshall, then one of the others is probably gonna do it for you. TC and UA offer the realism in terms of how it sounds like one of those classic fuzzling out, sagging, broken amps when you crank them up, because they were never meant back then to drive, so people just cranked them up, kicked in the speakers and all that. You're getting all that with those simulations. Is that what you want? Well, then you got to go there, and then you got to decide whether you want to spend 159 or 318 at the moment. When it comes to which one sounds immediately more like an amp in a room, TC missed out on a bit. TC missed out a bit on that room simulation. The Deluxe has a reverb, yes. Okay, it's got the reverb knob, but that's a reverb. And compared to the UA kills it with its spring simulation. But these don't have room simulations like all the others, which means when you plug it in, it's a directly mic'd cab, and not a let's move the mic back a bit. And that sound, that really for these vintagey sounds, maybe for the modern stuff, you want the direct mic stuff. But for these, I really think that in the room sound makes you feel like, whoa, I'm playing an amp. And the TC ones do not have that. Okay, you could, of course, try to get that with the reverb later in your DAW, or maybe room simulation like the UA plugin, the Ocean Way Studios. Yes, there are ways to get this, but that's, I think, where the TC ones fall short. However, that's a processing power thing, that's a programming thing, and that's a money thing. And clearly, 159 isn't 318 or 419 or 439. These two are great. This needs more headroom. This can get you nice sparkly cleans, but also already kind of driving a bit. Interestingly, this one, which is known for drive sounds, stays the cleanest the longest, okay? The UAs have issues with higher output pickups because they're very, very true to the original amps. So some guitars they hate, some guitars they love. Depends on what you're playing, but this is not your stuff for metal. This is vintage sounds, okay? In terms of you plug in and you're like, whoa, I can't believe that's a modeler. UA by far kills it, absolutely. In terms of can't believe there's only 159, TC kills it. In terms of flexibility, because it's stereo, MIDI, headphone out, load your own IRs, and all that stuff, the other two have features, if you want them, that the others don't have. So on the one hand, price, TC. On the other hand, realism, but limited, UA. On the other hand, flexibility and features, these two. You have to make a choice. Let's go and play the Fendery sounds from all of them and go A, B, and whatever. I didn't play exactly the same thing, but hopefully you get the idea. Here we go. Now we're going to go to the AC type sounds and compare the DC, the Ruby, and blah, 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 blah from all of them so you know what you get. Now let's go into the M-type territory, more rocky and all that stuff. With the Iridium, it's got quite a bit more gain. It's a JCM. The other UA doesn't have that at all. The Walrus Audio doesn't really give you the gain. It's a different concept. It's pedal, platform, edge breakup. And then the TC, it's got the classic. Okay? I said, didn't want to. And there you go. Which one is for you? Do you want to put pedals into it? Do you need flexibility? Do you want to control it with MIDI? Is it a once in a while on your board? Is it a take it to rehearsal? It is a backup thing. If it's a backup thing, get it a TC, no question. 159, great for backup. You're recording with it and you want classic rock and roll, country, blah, blah, blah sounds for recording and having a final version of something. I'm actually going to go the UA kicks ass, but again, in a very vintagey kind of setting. So I have fun playing all of them. I do think the TC stuff offers a lot for the value. Once you go AB like we just did and you play, the UA does sound the most realistic. But maybe realism isn't what you need. Maybe just good sound is what you need. Who cares if it sounds like the original amp if it'll work great in a mix? You know, the Iridium still holds up. And the ACS, which we didn't do here, but with pedals in front of it, is a different beast. And that's what it's meant for. So, look at it again. If Leslie can switch to them. Yeah, we got all this stuff. Come on. Make a choice. I'll put links to all of them. Oh my god, that's a lot of work. Under the video. Again, 159, 318 each, 439, 419. And which one you choose is really up to you. I cannot say this is the best. Sound-wise, the UA stuff kills. Price-wise, TC kills. Flexibility-wise, ACS1 and Iridium kill. Follow me everywhere, links below. Thanks to the companies for working with me. I wasn't paid for this video. Love you guys, love you Leslie, and animals at the end.